Hi, Pitch List fans! Welcome to this month's Pitch List live stream on Instagram. I'm Dana. I am the producer of Pitch List, and we are so excited. We're going to have Stephanie Quayle join us tonight, and it's going to be a super fun time. So, it's going to be a great live stream tonight. And Stephanie Quayle is right there. And we're going to wait just a few minutes for some people to join. We're going to invite her into the stream. And it's going to be such a great time. So, if you're new here, we do this every second Wednesday of the month as an extension of our main podcast, Pitch List. And it's just another way for us to talk to as many artists and songwriters as we can. And okay, I see Stephanie coming in, so let me bring her in the stream and we will get started. Here she comes.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
How are you? I'm so good. Thank you. Thank you
back
so
a
much
little
for
bit.
joining us. Oh, I know, me too. It's zoomed in.
I love your turquoise hair.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. I just got it dyed.
You did?
I just dyed it I dyed it blue for the first time. So thank you.
Did you do it yourself or did you go to someone?
Oh, no. I went to somebody. I did not trust myself to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think in my mind, I think I'm capable of certain things. And then it's like, I go back to like that time I took the scissors to my own bangs and it started like here and then slowly went to here. And
We've all been there. I was this close in quarantine, so I feel you.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I didn't give my husband a haircut because he would not let me near him with scissors or, clippers. But I did give one of our friends a haircut and I was mortified.
Oh, no.
And I didn't do a very good job. I have so much respect for anyone that can cut hair, especially cut straight lines. Like I cannot.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I don't have it.
Yeah, same.
I don't.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I want to give you a little intro for anyone watching Pitch List who doesn't know who you are yet. So we have an amazing country singer-songwriter on Pitch List Live tonight. Rolling Stone Country named you an artist you need to know. CMT included you in their Next Women of Country series, and you have millions of streams on your songs. So this is Stephanie Quayle. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. You're the coolest.
Oh, you are! Seriously.
It's so good to be with humans. Like, we're getting closer.
I know. Yes. I feel the energy through the screen. It's so exciting.
Really good.
So I want to talk about your music. You tell really captivating stories about love and life, and it really showcases your roots. So can you talk a little bit about growing up on a ranch in Montana with cowboy culture and how that life experience has influenced your songs and being a woman in country music?
Absolutely. First of all, growing up on a farm, on a ranch, with animals, with chores, with these situations because a farm never sleeps, right? When you have animals, a farm never sleeps. And so there's so much responsibility and work ethic that just happens because there really isn't a choice if you're in that situation. And just growing up in it, I didn't even know the level of just what was getting like branded into my soul. And that way of life, that cowgirl state of mind, that cowboy state of mind, that can-do attitude. And so it's really been like over the last, I don't know, maybe like 5 to 7 years. I'd say 7+ that I've really just started to see how much of an impact growing up the way I did has had a massive influence on everything that I do and touch. And I didn't even realize, right? Like you don't, because you're just in it. You're in it every day. You're doing it. So it just is who you are. It's like, a conversation you can have with someone who also plays guitar. It's like a conversation you can have with someone who also rides a horse. there's just this camaraderie that happens and understanding. And the thing about, the Western traditions and that just beautiful way of life is the stories behind all these songs and sounds that I'm now able to really craft, create, and cultivate to continue that story and that tradition.
Yeah.
And my version is more modern for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that blend of those worlds. I like to bend the fences, so to speak.
Totally. Yes.
Not necessarily like cut the wire, but like find my way around it.
Yeah.
And it is really fun, to be able to incorporate so much of the way I grew up and just that, this the cowboy, like, dust yourself off and wipe away the tears. It's also like peeling that back and really being strong enough to be vulnerable. And that
100%.
takes it, that all those juxtapositions of emotion. And so this is really fun for me. Also because this last year obviously was completely bonkers for all of us. So
Absolutely.
we just leaned into the one thing we knew, create
that's
music.
Such a good, yes, that is such a good point. And I think it's so interesting what you said about, being so engulfed in a certain, culture or way of life. And then once you're removed from that, you kind of start to realize like, oh, okay, this is something potentially special, or this is something different that I feel the need to like include in my music.
For sure. And you see it a lot of times in song. I can usually tell when a song has been written by a Southern writer.
Yes.
There's and it's just a different dialect, right? And there's all these little isms that, when I first moved to Nashville, I was like, what are they saying? And I'd have to look it up and be like, what is a buggy? Shopping cart. And
right, exactly.
And in Montana, we just, and in the Northwest, in that Western world, we have different ways of turning a phrase. So it's, I love bringing that to the forefront of country music, especially as a woman in our genre, because, when you so much as cowboy, there are so many badass cowgirls, and just like from the artisans that are, in every spectrum of it, from the rodeo athletes to, the leather workers to the ranchers, the farmers. I mean, it's endless. And so it's fun to just be able to share those stories through a song, or, just me, because I can't help but talk. I love humans, learning about their stories and then sharing them forward.
I absolutely love that. I just love, especially like you said, like this year, you're kind of, we were kind of isolated, and just like all we had was our own minds and, going crazy. So I think it made it really kind of easy to lean into what, makes you unique and like, what makes you you. So I love that.
Also, it's way easier. Like,
exactly.
Why
when you're not,
do we try so hard to be anyone other than ourselves?
So true.
When, man, if we just stop doing that, we're so much cooler, just as the weirdos that we naturally are.
Absolutely.
Like, lean into this, and
lean into the crazy. That's what I say.
Fully, I've embraced my full weirdo, and I strongly suggest it because it is so liberating.
Absolutely.
And, not everyone has to like everyone, and music is so subject to whomever ears are, listening, that I don't worry about if someone doesn't like me or my music. I go for changing chemistry. So like if a song moves someone and it gives them some type of emotion, then we're doing the right thing, and
absolutely.
And I love music and the power of music. And I'm excited to, this is the first time in the history of my career I've been releasing music. We have a song coming out Friday. We just released one, and it's just happening. So for me, it's like, even the songs have this freshness that keeps happening, because normally it'd be like one song for the entire year.
Right.
Now it's just like song. I'm like, oh, wait, whoa, ha, he, ha, yeah.
Right. I love it though. Well, since you mentioned it was on my list to mention, but since you mentioned it, you have a song coming out this Friday. Can you tell me a little about that?
Oh my gosh, this song. It's so weird because when I first heard We Buy Gold, I remember being so compelled by the lyric because love is the strangest thing. Like, we've seen every heartbreak movie. We've seen all of our friends and family go through whatever. We've seen the world come apart at the seams, and yet we still fall in love, get engaged, get married. We buy gold. And so I remember just the lyrics and the melody and kind of this conversation as you listen to it. It's introspective. Well, you know, it feels very introspective to me. Like, it's just like that, like, man, why do we do this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
And so we tried recording it a few years back, and
wow.
it just wasn't right. And I'm really grateful that I have an amazing team that when we feel like something is not right, we push the pause button, and we either we're like, okay, no, like this just doesn't fit. And the thing with, you know, music is that I could hear a song and be moved, you know, changing chemistry, truth, little bumps everywhere, and it not fit my voice and where I am. It's also how the songs I've written. But with this one, there was just like, I got to hang on. I don't know what it's all going to look like. And so then when we started working with Alex Klein, who's produced this entire project, she's phenomenal. She just did it. She just like let the song sing, you know?
Yes.
And I'm just excited for people to hear it because there's this, obviously the theme of love, obviously, and all these songs, but all the different characteristics, you know, if you think about love as like this, you know, like you would a diamond with all its flaws. It's like showing all the sides of it versus hiding anything.
Totally.
And that's, you know, that's the honest part of love. You know, it comes with some, you know, cracks and crevices, and you're like, oh,
yes,
something there we got to look at.
Absolutely. And, you know, that makes me think of what you said just before about, like, it's almost like in spite of everything, in spite of ourselves, we like can't help it. Right. We can't help ourselves, but like love people and things and places and
completely. Yeah. I mean, I even think back like to when I first, you know, I was sure I was never going to get married. I was like, never going to happen to me. Now I'm the biggest proponent of love. I mean, you know, if I see a couple in the audience, like I can't help myself. I'm like, I want to know everything. Like, how long have we been together? Are we dating? Are we like, where are we at? You know, I'm very intrusive. So
I love it.
For me, I'm like, never, like I'll never this, I'll never that. It was a whole case of nevers. And then despite it all, love finds you. And when it does, there's no controlling it.
Absolutely. Oh, 100%. Well, I would love to hear you play a song or two. I don't know if you can give a preview or, you know, I know you have your current single out as well.
I'll play a few for you. Let me get a little taste of my adult beverage.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I was about to be like, it's Friday night. It's not. My brain's like, go for it.
Oh,
it might as well.
I mean, to me, every day is Friday. We have so many people watching right now. Big Rich in the UK. What up? I love it so much. Well, I think I'm gonna. So, do we have time for 2 songs or 3 songs?
2 or 3, whatever you want. Honestly, I can see a couple people have asked some questions.
Ooh,
so maybe do a little Q&A afterwards. So, whatever you want to do is great.
Fun fact: anyone watching who can just like maybe text my husband, let him know that we're live right now. He keeps calling. So, love you, honey. We're live.
She's a little preoccupied.
Anyone call the husband, let them know. Yeah, we can totally do a Q&A after.
Amazing.
Just let me know if it's too loud, huh?
It sounds great so far. Just the tuning.
Well, you know, Wild Frontier has just been such a spectacular adventure for us. You know, every time I go home to Montana, I think about this song because I really had to take it home in order to it just like fully be mine. You know, when you've got writers like Maren Morris, Ross Copperman, Shane McAnally, it's such a high bar that I think the fan in me had to turn off that brain.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And the artist in me had to go, okay, are these my words? And can I really own this conversation?
Yes, absolutely.
And that's when it completely shifted. So I took it home to Montana, rolled my windows down, tore down that gravel road, and the song became mine, which is
love it.
Cool. Such a cool song.
Amazing.
Super cool. So this is Wild Frontier. Roll up my sleeves. We set out on a blaze of glory in uncharted territory, never knowing where the story ends. You can never tame the thunder. We don't have to blame each other, never have to rain the other end. There ain't no fences way out here on this wild frontier. If you get too far, follow the North Star. When you're lost, it's gonna lead you back to my arms. Keep your eyes on my horizon. I'll be waiting even if it takes a million years. We can stay right here on this wild frontier. I'll be your wild frontier. The sky will be our only border, even as the days get shorter. I'll keep you warmer and dry you near. All the names of where we'll carry this love will be legendary long after we're gone and buried here on this wild frontier. If you're too far, follow the North Star. When you're lost, it's gonna lead you back to my arms. Keep your eyes on my horizon. I'll be waiting even if it takes a million years. We can stay right here on this wild frontier. I'll be your wild frontier. We'll run wild and free like it's supposed to be. Yeah, it's you and me out here on this wild frontier. If you get too far, follow the North Star. When you're lost, it's gonna lead you back to my arms. Keep your eyes on my horizon. I'll be waiting even if it takes a million years. We can stay right here on this wild frontier. I'll be the wild frontier. I'll be your wild frontier.
Yes. I love that so much. Your voice is so powerful.
Oh, thank you. I love music. I love the power of a song, man. It's just...
Yes, absolutely. Somebody asked this question. Why was Wild Frontier released before this upcoming single? If there is a reason.
You know, so each song has a connection to why the next one is being released.
Okay.
So what I would share with the people asking is that go back to By Heart. And then when We Buy Gold comes out, start seeing if there might be, you know, a sub story happening.
I love that.
And then, you know, there's more music coming out all year. So it's, you know, I think the beautiful part is because we can. We are not limited to a rule book or a playbook on how we have to do
Yes.
anything. And that's the
Absolutely.
beautiful part. And I'm having to learn that myself too, because, you know, I have been in very much just like, okay, one song a year or maybe two.
Mm-hmm.
And to be able to just flood the fans with music and just keep giving more and more, because these songs are so special. And, you know, as a songwriter who finds songs that I haven't written that I share, it's like, it's my duty, you know, because if songwriters don't get supported, then they don't get to keep writing songs. That's how this works.
Yes,
you know?
ma'am.
So I don't mean to get on my little soapbox for a minute,
please
but
do.
it's important. And so, you know, it's this whole beautiful relationship that we have as artists and songwriters and musicians, and, you know, places like this where we can share our love of music and the why. And then for the fans to know what it takes, you know. And it's weird to say fans, because honestly, the flock of quail, they're all my friends.
Yeah.
This is my family.
Absolutely.
And so family, I just don't really like that word personally. The flock of quail, they're loud and proud, and it's just really great. So.
I love that so much. And, you know, you said something really important too, because I think, you know, the trend is kind of moving towards, you know, at least in country, like, okay, artists are starting to write their songs as well. And you don't see this as much, you know, looking for outside songs in the current day. Can you tell us a little bit about why you think that's important? And I like earlier what you said, how do you make sure, like, you're so specific about making sure that you are owning that song and you feel like that is your story?
Yeah. Well, first going back to just, you know, the craft and business of songwriting. Mm-hmm. You know, before I moved to Nashville, I thought every artist wrote the songs. Everyone. I had no clue.
Oh, same. I'm sure we all did at some point.
Yeah, I think we all kind of had that, you know, and that is what it is. And there's a beauty in that, because, and there's beauty in that naivete, because the artists did such a great job of portraying and owning those songs and made them theirs, that we never considered anything else. Mm-hmm. So first of all,
and that's an art form too.
Yes, it's hard.
Yes, I want to commend you on that, because
you can't fake it.
People don't realize.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm sure some people probably like great at, you know, like, but I don't know, man. So then it's like, okay, so then you have this community of songwriters, publishers, pitchers, song pluggers, A&R execs that are working tirelessly to connect all the dots. Mm-hmm. And I think sometimes people forget that it's not like, and maybe sometimes it is, but for the most part, it's not like you're in your bedroom, you record a song, and then it just happens.
Right.
You know, that, of course, like there are those extraordinary situations for sure, but all in all, it's a business. And it's a business that we have to nurture because it heals people. A song heals hearts by the bajillions, right? So we have to take good care of our business, and that's from a holistic standpoint. And so I get asked a lot of times, like, well, why don't you just record your music? I go, well, because the best song wins. And if I hear something,
I love that, and
it's better than mine, and I am not too shy to say, never. And it hasn't been recorded yet, and I have the chance to either share a new writer that someone might not know about, or a song that might have just got overlooked because of whatever reason, and I can be like a catalyst for it getting out there. That's awesome.
I love that. That's such a great way of looking at it, and I love that so much. So yeah, thank you for doing that.
Sure.
Do you want to play another song?
Sure. Do you mind if I go country western on you?
Hell yeah.
So this one is not out yet. This, I just love to play it. It is, I mean, the party that's happening in my mind is, obviously you guys can't see what's all happening in there. There's a lot going on in there. But, I mean, it goes back to Montana. It just goes back to those baritone guitars. And I really, started playing with baritone specifically in my production as like an identifier. When you hear an Eric Church song, there's something sonically that you're like Eric Church. You hear a Marin song, you're like Maren Morris, Miranda, Casey, whomever, and there's these things. And I was like, that's what I identify with. That's something that triggers an emotion in me that is positive. So can I just keep conveying that through my music? And this song is called Lone Ranger.
Oh, I love that title.
It's about loving someone so much. Like I co-wrote this about my husband. It's like, man, there will never be another. Like you're my it.
Yeah.
And he was kind of ticked at the beginning. He's like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm like, no, I know that. I mean, I'm not saying this is like the ultimate love letter I could ever write you in the form of a song. And it's just a really, it's just fun to play and sing and jam out with you.
Hell yeah, I love it.
So keep your ears out because this is keeping that story going. This will be coming out in 2021. I'm allowed to say that, I think. Yay. And if I wasn't, well, I just did. It just happened.
You heard it here first.
Yes, that's exactly. Literally. They'll not tell them what they'd ever do with me. You branded my heart so good, you ruined me. Your love's like tattoo ink, they crawling all up on me. And even your memory would get the best of me. Rather be a lone ranger, better off being some lonesome sunset chaser. 'Cause there ain't no more alone. Rather heartbreak than my friend. Love be a stranger. 'Cause if I have to ride with someone else that's not you, I'd rather be a lone ranger. Don't try to tell me there'd be another you. I hear what you're saying, but I ain't hearing you. With anybody new, I'm never gonna not see you. All of me is all about you. Rather be a lone ranger, better off being some lonesome sunset chaser. 'Cause there ain't no more alone. Rather heartbreak than my friend. Love be a stranger. Until I have to ride with someone else that's not you. Rather be a lone ranger. Rather be a lone ranger. Better off being some lonesome sunset chaser. 'Cause there ain't no more and all. I'd rather be a lone ranger. Better off being some lonesome sunset chaser. 'Cause there ain't no more and all. Rather heartbreak than my friend. Love be a stranger. 'Cause if I have to ride with someone else that's not you, I'd rather be a lone ranger. Rather be a lone ranger.
Oh, I love that. That was
It's
awesome.
like, don't you think I just need to be in a Western with that song?
Absolutely. I was like, ooh, imagine like a harmonica solo in the middle. I don't know.
I mean, maybe there is.
I was gonna say
maybe
like,
there's
exercising my psychic powers.
I mean,
right now, or...
I'm not telling you anything.
I love it.
Wait, do you play harmonica?
Not really.
But you do a little, don't you?
You know, I get by.
Where's your harmonica?
No, she's in the closet, locked away.
Wait, do you name your harmonicas?
No, oh my God. But do you name your guitars?
Yeah, I do.
Wait, so this is your baritone, right?
No, this is just my regular Gibson.
Okay.
But this one is a 1976. So this is before they were made in my hometown in Bozeman, Montana. So this
wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So this one, this is probably the only guitar I have that doesn't have a name.
Oh my God, of course.
But I've got like an Emmy Lou. I have Emmy Lou's in her bag right now. She's resting. And then I got a couple Clyde. I have Clyde and Clyde Jr. Why, I have no idea. I think it's because I was going through like a Bonnie and Clyde moment. That's not surprising. Yes. But this one, I got to work on we got to come up with a good name for this little number.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's just,
I
love old guitars. Like, they just, and it smells old. It kind of smells like my grandmother, even though it wasn't her guitar.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I love that so much.
It's
Somebody
so good.
also just suggested start the song with a whistle. I could totally hear that. Ooh.
So, if I was a cowboy, when that came out, that started with the whistle. I'll tell you what Stephanie was not hired to do, whistle in the studio. They gave me like one shot, and I was really trying. And so I got fired from whistling on my own song. And then like we had to take the song to the road. And so we're, playing it at all the different radio stations and such. And I was so focused on the whistle that I completely forgot the song.
Oh, that's something I would do.
It was really hilarious. And my third whistle moment was at the Opry. When we played this song on the Opry, I remember, you're backstage and you're in the cage and you're like, rehearsing the songs. And so I was so excited. I'm like, I'm going to whistle on the Opry. And one of the guys goes, oh, good luck. And I'm like, oh no.
No.
What happened? Did something happen? Is there like a whistle? Like, are there some like whistle stories that I need to know? Like, did I just like tread on some history that but now I have whistlers in the band.
Oh, okay. So you can take that off your plate. You're like, I can remember the lyrics maybe.
We just practice. We just collectively whistle. We whistle as part of our warm-ups. You got to be ready to whistle.
I love that so much.
There's a lot of jobs that comes with being an artist, and whistling is one of them.
Exactly. Not one of my skills.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned, playing the Grand Ole Opry. Did you listen to country music growing up? Like, was that a dream of yours, or how was that experience?
Yeah. So we had so I spent all my time also. I spend all my time. So I spent all my time in the barn, and I also spend all my time in the barn. Like I just find I find solace there. So growing up, we had this little silver AM radio that just played country music 24/7. It was on the windowsill of our barn. So it was just happening. And it was just, going in. And I remember, because when people would say, oh, you sing country, I'm like, I do. When I was little.
Right.
What do you mean?
It's just what you grew up with.
Yeah, it was and then my mom, my mom's got an incredible voice, and I'm still trying to convince her to sing on something.
That would be so sweet.
I think I might be able to convince her.
Yes.
So just growing up with it, but playing music, I didn't know this could be my job. It was such a different time. Like, you got to remember, there was no YouTube. There wasn't TikTok and American Idol and The Voice and all these ways where, so many people have opportunities to get heard now. The important part for those people that are looking at those opportunities is you got to be ready. You got to be ready for those opportunities so they don't slip you by, because they're a huge platform. And for me, I was just I love to sing. It wasn't until I was 16 and I went abroad. I did an exchange program in Freiburg, Switzerland. I know it's bonkers. Wow. Yeah, it was my way of running away legally, because I'd been bullied by some super mean girls as a freshman. I was like, I'm out of here. But that was the only way I could leave. So I did an exchange program. And that was if it hadn't have been for them,
Wow.
I would never have gone.
Yeah.
And had I never gone, I would never have met the band that said, you know, as I'm eavesdropping, that they're looking for a singer, and I got an audition, and auditioning got the job. And that was my first moment being on stage and going, wait a second, this is what I'm supposed to do. And so it's so crazy, you know, our challenges become our greatest victories. Like they're all just like that's the good stuff. There's so much power in that pain, right?
Yeah.
And so then I came back from Switzerland to Montana, and I'm like, well, parents, this is what's happening.
I'm in band.
And they were like, okay.
Wow.
You know, and I think when something is a must, you find a way. And so music, it just was like, okay. And I got a hold of everything. It was like any place I could sing in any genre of any, like, you name it, except for rap. I'm a terrible rapper. You know, I just love music.
Yeah.
And then, you know, and the beautiful part about that was that there were no boundaries. So I was really just able to write whatever came out of my wild 16-year-old brain, which there was some things. I was like, what are we going through here?
Yeah, exactly. Like, but there's some magic in that.
Yeah.
You know, before you know about the industry,
Right.
you know, how, you know, there's a magic in just what comes out of you naturally.
Yeah. And I think there's something about, like, learning the craft and also being very unbridled. Like, it's like this
balance,
you know, it's that balance, and it's you got to let them both kind of wiggle their way together. And I think that's really important. Like this summer, I have the opportunity, because I'm not touring like I was, because they're still navigating COVID. I'm gonna be able to, like, write with my friends who we've been trying to write together for so long, but we haven't had to schedule it. Like, to be able to be like, hey, want to meet me in Montana and let's go write for a week?
That's a title.
Right? I mean, it is. Yeah. And it's just really cool.
I love that so much. Well, if you want, we would love to hear you play one more song.
Sure.
Whatever you want. A lot of people are requesting Untitled. But
really?
I've seen it go by.
I mean, it's another one of those songs that's just like, it's a very cool song. Yeah, hold on. Let me just make sure. I have so many songs in my brain, you know.
Girl,
like,
I know.
I got songs in my brain and a George Strait pick in my mouth. George Strait.
I know. I put you on the spot with that one.
No, I love to, and I love the fact that the flock has spoken.
They have.
If they want Untitled, Untitled is what they will get.
Yes, they're
I
coming
love
hot
Sherry.
tonight.
She's the best. She's super great. We've got Dawn on here. We got Edward. Oh, all the poops.
I
miss
love
them
it
so much. All right, well, you know, and I will say this about my old guitar. It sometimes go out of tune, but that's all right. We can listen around it.
We're all family here.
Right. Exactly. All right, this is Untitled. Thank you again for having me and just sharing my story. And
oh my gosh, of course. Thank you for being here.
Getting us all gathered together.
I love it.
It's very special. All right. Everybody knows the song. The cowboy who rides away. The one with the good die young. Innocent coming of age. There's the one about the white-eyed girl that runs down her dreams out west. Then there's the one about me. That one ain't finished yet. That's the most important line. Still untitled, unbridled. Turns like a radio dial. It's the heart of a child into the wild. It's a front porch, crash course, one horse town survival, a revival. It's a verse from a back row Bible. Still making it up as we go along. Now I'll call this song Untitled, right?
I love that.
It's untitled. It starts off sweet and slow. The swing of a backyard swing. The good stuff all kicks in. Right around 17, And it sounds like summer, it hits like a kiss. Cries on night for the ones you miss. It's a prayer, it's a party. It's only getting started. Still untitled, unbridled. Turns like a radio dial. It's the heart of a child into the wild. It's a front porch, crash course, one horse town survival. A revival. It's a verse from a back row Bible. Still making it up as we go along. Now I'm calling this song Untitled. I'm a needle on vinyl. I'm a red dirt road disciple. I'm a blue jean anthem. Best parts ain't even happened. And that's when everyone would get together, like we're like, ah. Still untitled, unbridled. Turns like a radio dial. It's the heart of a child into the wild. Front porch, cash kiss, one horse town survival. A revival. It's a verse from a back row Bible. I'm still making it up as we go along. Now I'm calling this song Untitled. It's untitled. Ah, gotta love
Yes!
those notes. Aw.
Wow, that is such like an anthem. That is so anthemic. I love it so much.
It's a very cool song.
I hadn't heard that one. I'm so glad that you
yeah, you'll have to go
played
check out the
it.
recording for sure. Yeah,
Ah,
it's
amazing.
awesome. It's a
Well,
lot of
thank
fun.
you so much for being here. I'm sure everyone listening who hadn't heard of you is going to go look up your songs right now.
Thank
And
you.
check out your new single, We Buy Gold, this Friday, which is gonna be
Yes.
amazing.
I
And
can't wait to know what you think of that song.
I'm so excited to hear it. I can't wait. And now knowing that they're all connected, like
Oh,
I
yeah.
love that so much. So
There's
okay, yeah. So everyone go start at the beginning
yes.
and then follow along the story.
Yep.
And for everyone who tuned in tonight, who doesn't know us, we are Pitchless Podcast. We interview hit writers and artists on our full podcast, hosted by #1 songwriter Chris Lindsay. And every second Wednesday of the month, I host our Instagram live series. And this was so much fun. Stephanie, you're freaking awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for
really
being here.
appreciate you.
Amazing. All right. Well, you have a great rest of your night.
Okay. Bye, everybody. Love your
Bye.
faces.
Thanks for
Bye,
watching.
guys.